Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today I am talking about your household bills and how to save money on them. Now, by household bills I mean things like your utilities, your gas, electricity, your water, your insurances, so car insurance, home insurance, things like broadband, all of those sorts of bills that are they tend to be sort of your once a month type payments, and they don't vary very much. Maybe year on year they'll vary, but there are ways of reducing them. So the first thing that I would suggest you do, and this one I think is so important, is to actually compare your bills. So if you start with things like your gas and electricity, for example, there's various different sort of comparison sites out there. Pick any of them, Google it. Uswitch is the first one that sort of usually comes to mind, but there are so many others out there as well. Put in your usage and have a look, and I would be surprised if there isn't somewhere that you can make a saving. I did ours recently. I do ours at least once a year, but I've just done it recently, and because of changes in prices and things like that, we're able to save £300 a year this year. So that's a crazy amount of money. An extra £300 is crazy. So that's the first way I would recommend you save. When it comes to your insurances, usually you can only really do that at renewal, but when it does come to your renewal, don't just accept the price that is given to you. Even if you're happy with your current insurer and you want to stay with them, do a comparison. Go to other insurance companies or use a comparison site, anything like that. You can always then take that price back to your insurer and say, I've been offered this, what can you do? More often than not, they will bring their price down in line with the best quote you've got. So that's another way to just reduce your household bills. By doing that for all of your different utilities, you could see a massive saving. I can remember the first time that I went through to do this for us, and I just had a good look at everything. I don't save quite as much now every time I do it because I'm already on really good tariffs, so it's just when things change. But when I first did it, it was about £1,500 a year that I managed to save, which is crazy to think that, you know, I spent about 6 hours going through everything and doing that, and I saved us £1,500, which is, you know, the best paid day's work I think I'll ever do. So definitely do that. Also, it's something you can do if you don't have time to consider your usage and that kind of thing, and don't have the means either to reduce your usage. That's a way you can save money without having to do anything. Once you've switched, it's done. You have saved that money. Now, the other thing you need to do is to try and focus on your usage. So this is particularly important with things like gas and electricity and water. The less you use, the less you will pay for. So try and reduce your usage. Focus on one area first. So focus on your gas or your electricity or your water. If you try and tackle them all in one go, you will quite likely become overwhelmed, and it's easy to sort of slip back into old habits. So sort of do it on like a 3-week cycle. So you're going to start with one. Once you've got a handle on that, you can move on to the other one as well, and then the third one. There are so many different ways that you can reduce your energy usage. Things like when you do the washing, hang it on the line rather than in the tumble dryer, you know, rather than drying in the tumble dryer. When you are cooking, if you are cooking a meal and you've got the whole oven on, but you're only using one shelf, stick another meal in too. Get it cooked, so then all you need to do is reheat it. Things like that. Then that's the sort of twofold thing, because that then comes under the batch cooking thing as well, which again is another way to save money, and I will talk about that in a later video. But for the moment, focusing on usage. So never let, if you're heating your whole oven, use your whole oven. okay? If you are putting the washing on, use the whole washing machine. Make sure it's full. Don't put the dishwasher on half empty, unless you're doing it as like a half load cycle, and then it will use less anyway. Always use eco settings if you can, and always reduce the temperature of your washing machine. Washing machines, with the powders and things that are available, lowering your temperature will not change whether your clothes get clean. And if you're worried about things being hygienically clean, you can always add something extra to your wash, like Zoflora or something like that, which will disinfect anything. So even if you're washing at a lower temperature, you still know that everything is coming out hygienically clean. I know this is one that's talked about a lot, but switching off lights when you leave the room. Switching all of your light bulbs to energy saving light bulbs. When it comes to water usage, things like watering the garden, see if you can set up some way of collecting rainwater, then you can use that water on your garden. Showers instead of baths. When it comes to the loo, try using either like a short flush, or you can get things that you add to your cistern which will reduce the amount of water usage. You can even just put a brick in your cistern in a bag or something, if you seal it up, and then put a brick in your cistern, and when you flush the chain it will only fill up with a certain amount of water, so that will reduce your water usage as well. I hope this video has been helpful. I know there's quite a lot of information there, but I hope it has been useful. If you have liked it, please give me a thumbs up. I'd love it if you would subscribe to stick around and hear more from me. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!